Alright, because my current project is taking longer than I initially thought, and because I need to produce some sort of content, I decided it was a good idea to talk about a topic I wanted to cover for a while now, and that is DuckTales 2017. DT17 is a perfect reboot, and by that, I don't mean a perfect show, because that is impossible. Every show has flaws, even Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is considered by many to be the greatest Western cartoon in this generation. It has flaws. What I mean by perfect reboot is that the reboot is faithful to the original show, its characters and settings are engaging, and the story is coherent and easy to follow, and also enjoyable. In my personal opinion, DT17 follows this to a T, and here's why. A quick disclaimer before we begin though, this video is riddled with spoilers, so if you haven't watched DuckTales 2017, be warned. Also, each point I'm going to make is my personal opinion, so if you don't agree, that's okay. And with that out of the way, we can now begin. In almost every episode of DuckTales, there's an A and B plot. There are a few episodes that don't follow this pattern, like the Golden Lagoon of White Agony Plains and Whatever Happened to Della Duck, which just have an A plot, and Day of the Only Child, which has a C plot. This is a tactic to keep the viewer engaged and amplify the main storyline. A great example of this is the episode The Secrets of Castle McDuck. The A plot follows Huey, Dewey, and Louie as they follow a note from their mother, as Dewey tries to hide what he has been doing behind their backs. The B plot follows Scrooge and his father as they butt heads but have to rely on each other to find the Clam McDuck treasure. Each plot has a conflict resulting in a fight, Dewey coming clean about his findings about Della, causing Huey and Louie to be mad at him, and Scrooge yelling at his father about never being proud of him and never doing anything for him. When Dewey is about to be attacked, Huey and Louie come to his rescue, saying that even though they were mad at him, that they would always be together. And when Scrooge yells at his father, it is revealed that Fergus gave Scrooge his #1 dime. That he did so because he loved him and wanted him to have a better life than he could provide for him. Both plots had the message of family, that even though they can fight and argue, they still come together in the end. This way of storytelling can be negative if done in the wrong way, though. By taking screen time from the main plot, it can make the story feel rushed, which can deter the viewers. But if done right, it can make a show that much more enjoyable. Besides the A and B plots, there are hints in most episodes about the overall plot for the season. In Season 1, it was Magica de Spell and the truth about Della Duck. In Season 2, it was the Moonvasion and Louie Incorporated. By having the subtle, slow burn of these plot points, it can keep the viewer engaged and eager for more. Some offhanded comments are also brought back in later episodes. In the Season 2 episode Last Christmas, Scrooge makes an offhand comment on keeping the world-eating serpent Jormungandr at bay.
That's a bit of an act. I have so many responsibilities throughout the year. My family, my business, secretly keeping the world-eating serpent Jormungandr at bay. The what?
It was obviously a joke, and a play on how busy Scrooge is during the year, but it comes back in the Season 3 episode Rumble for Ragnarok, in which we finally get the context for who Jorgen Yam, the snake dude, is, and how Scrooge keeps him from, well, leading the world. Little things like that are great because they reward the viewer and those who pay attention to those small details. Another great example of this is in the Season 2 episodes Friendship Hates Magic and The Duck Knight Returns, where in both episodes it is revealed that the show Darkwing Duck was cancelled before the finale, and with a confrontation with two Darkwing Ducks. In The Duck Knight Returns, the end of the episode, this confrontation comes to fruition. Drake Mallard versus Jim Starling, New Darkwing versus Old Darkwing. This episode was subtly built up throughout the entire show, and it was done so well in many different aspects that I will get into later. Overall, it's a wonderful way of storytelling that the casual watcher can appreciate, and DuckTales does it beautifully. No matter the show, characters are one of the most important things to get right. If you watch a show with a great plot but the characters are annoying, bland, or just aggravating to watch, people will most likely drop the show. DuckTales' characters are a great mix of nostalgia and updated personalities. Each character, no matter what personality they have, are engaging on the screen and properly portray real emotions and feelings. Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Webby had the most change to their characters, while still sharing some aspects to their original counterparts. Huey, Dewey, and Louie used to share the same personality. They were a single unit, often thinking and feeling the same way. In the reboot, their shared personality was split between three, with Huey being the responsible one, Dewey being the adventurous one, and Louie being the laid-back and mischievous one. Along with that, they were also assigned some of the stereotypical older, middle, youngest sibling dynamic, which, if done right, can work very well. Their dynamic really shows through in the episode Day of the Only Child, where Dewey declares it was Only Child Day and the three split up to be their own people, but in the end realizing that even though they're not a unit, they still need each other, which is reaffirmed in the episode The Secrets of Castle McDuck. Webby, on the other hand, shares very few character traits with her original character. She still likes pink and wears bows, but now she's a spy, or trained by a spy and now acts and has traits of one. She's weird, but in a lovable way. At first, people were skeptical of her being a Mabel clone, and I was too. The adventurous girl with a cheery attitude and a grappling hook? Yeah, sounds like Mabel. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. She grew up alone in the mansion, so she has terrible people skills. She's obsessed with anything McDuck and wants to be there on his adventures. She gets self-conscious about her people skills and weirdness, often feeling bad if she accidentally makes a social situation awkward with her obsession with the supernatural and unnatural. In the episode Friendship Hates Magic, Webby spends almost the entire sleepover obsessing over being normal so she doesn't freak out Violet, which is later revealed that she doesn't actually care that Webby and the McDuck family are linked to so many unnatural and supernatural events. Something that I didn't mention in the last segment is the fact that in every episode there is some sort of character development. Be it big or small, there is development. Sometimes it's not the main characters, sometimes it's the side characters. A great example is the episode Astro Boyd. Even though this episode had Huey and Fenton, it was a Gyro episode. At the start of the episode, he was resentful of Boyd. He was angry, scared, and disappointed about that particular time of his life. How Boyd was evil and ever since all his inventions turned out bad. Boyd represented a low point in his life. Gyro truly believed that Boyd was and is evil, but was proven wrong by the end of the episode, when it was revealed that Boyd, at his core, is a real boy. He accepted Boyd for who he truly is and promoted Fenton in the process. This was a big step for his character, and this episode gave a lot of insight into his character. The characters are also well written, like Mark Beeks. He's an asshole who uses microaggressions, but his character is written so well that every time he's on screen, I can't help but go, "You go, you little racist parrot," because that's how he is! He's so entertaining and aggravating at the same time! I can go on and on about all the characters and their subtle developments and how by saying one sentence it can reveal a lot about their character, but I want to keep this video short and simple. So all in all, DuckTales 17's characters are wonderful and work well in a storytelling standpoint. In my personal opinion, if a reboot is good but it trashes the original source material, it can deter old viewers from watching the show. I've witnessed this before with Teen Titans Go and She-Ra, though Teen Titans Go always made people turn away from the show, but the point still stands. But DuckTales 17 not only makes references to the original show, it brings multiple different shows together into one big masterpiece that rewards old fans, but at the same time educates the new fans about the old shows, so those new fans don't get lost or confused when watching. The episodes leading up to The Duck Knight Returns gives the audience some backstory to Darkwing Duck, with enough references to the old show that old fans appreciate, and are rewarded by, but for new fans, enough information is given by Launchpad that they can sympathize and understand his love of the show to get why it's so important to him, and the way it shaped his life. The quote, "Let's get dangerous," is something that LP has adapted to his everyday life. His fanboy nature plays homage to his old counterpart, and shows new viewers a new side of him that they can understand. There's a great video that goes into more detail than I will. I suggest you watch it, link in the description below. Sometimes the references to the old shows are subtle, like something in the background, clothes, a doll with an arrow in it, or even the name of a robot. Others are not so subtle, like Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, or Darkwing Duck, I guess. These references can both be appreciated by the old fans and the casual viewers, and at the same time, they don't take away from the story. What's so great about this show is that it is a standalone show. You don't have to have seen the original DuckTales or Darkwing Duck or Tailspin or the Three Caballeros or Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers to understand DuckTales 2017, which is a great way of storytelling. It captures the audience in a way that is interesting no matter the age of the viewer, or if they are old or new fans. In my opinion, no other reboot has achieved this, and any future reboots can learn a lot from this show. This method can be used incorrectly, by making the show seem to be leeching off of the old show. But DuckTales 2017 doesn't do that. It is in its own standalone show with many nods and hints to other shows. I think it's fantastic. Is DuckTales 2017 perfect? No, far from it actually. There are times in which I cringed in episodes that I don't find very enjoyable, but overall it's a wonderful show to watch, and it has everything I could ever want in a reboot. The characters are lovable, the story is fun and engaging, and it's a beautiful homage to the original source material. I would highly recommend the show to anyone, and I would like to encourage others to watch it. It's such a fun and enjoyable experience, and each time I watch the show through, I find something else to love about it. DuckTales 2017 is a perfect reboot in all aspects, and future reboots and shows can learn a lot from it. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, you can drop a like, and if you want to see more content from me, you can subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of any of my future videos. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.